Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brand. As always, I don't do this alone. I have the ladies of your view. Hello, White Gay.
Hello, Mariah.
How are you?
I'm fine.
You know you're wearing my favorite color, orange.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew orange was your favorite
I told you
color.
like 3 times.
No, burnt orange.
Burnt orange.
Burnt orange.
They're all in the
like
family.
rust.
Yeah. Orange. But
It's
the whole
what I know
family.
is your favorite color, not bright.
Well, all the oranges actually. I like orange. How you doing though?
Okay, I'm fine.
Good to see you. How's everything?
Yeah. Oh, fine.
Anything for the weekend? Party?
Not that I know.
I got one fantastic invite on Sunday.
Oh, really?
I'm
Where
in Intel building. Somebody's 50th birthday. Okay. I'm excited. I won't mention the person's name. But it's a party that I expect that'll come with loads of souvenir. I hope so, because I'm assuming that they will pack it for me.
They've heard you.
They've heard me, Abby.
Now they'll make sure you get
One of those big people's parties, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, lucky
Anyway,
you.
Yeah.
Lucky
Anything, Mariam? Plans for the weekend?
no plans, really. I made sure that I've been struggling with my domestic stuff, so I just sent everybody back.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so I'm feeling much better now. I slept well.
It's a lot of work.
And then we'll start at the, but I will start at the weekend. We'll manage, but the negativity was just too much. We'll do it. We can do it.
Yeah.
I was doing it anyway. They were supposed to help me. They're not helping me. I was
My
doing
own,
it.
you know what my own did?
What did she do?
I don't know which one. No. We have many in our house. Okay, God. They stole all my drink.
Can you imagine?
Hey,
I'm serious.
They are selling it.
Can you imagine?
Because they don't drink it. I'm sure they don't drink it. I'm sure they are selling it.
Valuable thing YK has.
The champagne, Abby.
I'm telling you.
Oh, your champagne. Wow.
Plus minerals, plus beer, everything in my fridge. Gone.
For you.
This how I was also.
And they look sober. They're not like.
They're not like high like the one
So
I
they're
had.
selling it. They're not drinking it. I hope they're not watching.
The bottle will get
I don't care.
I didn't know.
I'm good though. Nima, I'm feeling rested.
Yeah.
I had 2 days of rest. No emergencies, nothing. No usual, let's call Nima. I just rested for 2 days straight and watching TV, following news and everything. But I got a victory. Somebody did a hit and run on me and didn't care to stop to check. He just walked away and I got down. I took a picture of his plate number, took a picture of the point of the accident, and I followed it up and I got my compensation yesterday.
Fantastic. That's great.
Thank you,
news.
Mr. Obayemi. I'm sure you're watching. Because all the TV stations there are on the TVC.
That's great
Thank
news
you
because
so much.
you hardly get compensated for these kinds of things.
No, I would have even left. If it was an individual, I would have left, but it's a corporate entity and they were
What helped you is that you took a picture of the plate number, so they were able to trace it and track it.
Yes, so you
you
can
could take a
track
learning
it
from that.
actually. Yeah. And Mr. Olaye from the VIO's office was, in 10 minutes, I got the details.
You and this people.
Why here? Nima.
10 minutes.
If I have any issue in Lagos, it is Nima. Nima, please, who do I call? You are very resourceful.
Me too. Police have stopped me. The first person I called was Nima. What do I do? She said, take a picture of his name badge and you are fine.
But Nima is our police on this show. In fact, anything, it's just Nima. But I have to, I was really drawn to the post by the chairman of Nigeria Diaspora Commission, Mrs. Abike Dabira, about the returnees from South Africa. And what moved me the most was the chairman of Air Peace said that he was pushed to tears when he saw Nigerians together in unison. Nobody was saying you are Igbo, you are Yoruba, you are Hausa. They were just Nigerians escaping from this, from South Africa, coming home. And that made him realize that, listen, we are actually one Nigeria. And the truth is that these kind of things is something we continually need to drum in our consciousness.
Yeah. Well, for me, what he did, you know, the usual Nigerian thing is to scream government, government, government. The few people that have the means.
It took responsibility.
Abroad, people have great foundation from their inheritance for progress to happen in society, but we hardly see such in Nigeria. And somebody used his personal resources to do this for his country.
He took responsibility, and the people, they really hailed him. They got up and they sang the national anthem for him. And he really, really felt.
I saw the video.
In fact, when I was reading it in the papers this morning, I was moved to tears. And they have plastered my face with makeup. So
I was just saying that could we stand and just clap for Mr. Allen Onyema? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. The man of the hour. Thank you.
He spent 280 million naira to get those people back home. And the next batch, I believe, is on Sunday. So anyway, let's go on a break. We just had to appreciate him. He's a good man, and good men should be appreciated. And also, before I run off, Abike Dabiri was there.
Yes.
She wasn't calling the shots from her bedroom,
No.
from her home.
Yes.
She was there waiting for them. That in itself is hard work. And we must also celebrate her.
Over and over again.
She's always on ground.
Yes.
She's hands-on. And we also celebrate you.
Yeah.
We celebrate you totally.
Too. You know, on a personal level, when the Nigerian embassy didn't answer my cousin that died in Spain, you know, she took it up.
Yeah.
She took it up.
She's hands-on.
Yes,
Yes, correct, woman.
For the people that, for the people that it matters.
Are you a man?
No, when it's a woman, you
And
don't
Nima,
expect
thank you for the grilled chicken. Nima gave me grilled chicken this morning.
Really? Wow. Can you imagine? So she now, no wonder when I was greeting you, guilty conscience could not allow you to greet me back.
No, I didn't give Wale a salary. She doesn't eat ramen.
Okay.
So I was at home
Let's go on a
yesterday.
break.
We'll be back.
Why how many pieces?
One.
One piece. That can even one piece of bone. Yeah.
Big.
One full chickens.
With pepper.
Okay, we must
Have you
share
eaten
it before we leave here.
So it's
We all eat it together. It's a family thing.
Okay, sorry, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspapers. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, we're going to start with The Nation. Federal government, Atiku gave false evidence of at tribunal. NACA unfolds plan for a $150 million HIV trust fund. Controversy over the 7.2% VAT rate. Governors drop Ruga for national livestock. Government eyes 140,000 jobs from the NLNG Train 7. And son fakes his own kidnap to defraud his father of 500,000 naira. This is getting pretty rampant. People do that a lot these days.
It's very sad. So this boy, he's, well, not a boy, he's a man, a 35-year-old man, Hamza Abdullahi, and his friend Awolu Shaibu planned his kidnap. That's the Hamza planned his kidnap so that he can ask the father to pay a ransom of 500,000. When he was caught, the father came to pay the ransom with some police operatives, and the police were able to recognize that you are the one that had asked, that, you know, had been kidnapped. So they asked him why he did it. He said he wanted to pay rent and also some mini things around the house. He wanted to be able to do that. So he decided to defraud his father.
There are parents who think it's part of discipline to deny their children proper maintenance so that the child is pushed to crime, sometimes to bad influence from friends who think, okay, let's deal with your parents. I think they should deal with whatever is happening in-house first. No, I'm not excusing, I'm saying they should deal with whatever is happening in-house.
We're not talking of a 16-year-old, we're talking of a 35-year-old man.
Deal with whatever is happening in-house.
Anyways,
if it's dependent on his father, he might be pushed to this.
The governors have dropped the Ruga, and they've embraced the National Livestock Transformation Program. That involves other livestock, not just the cattle, and the other factors being considered anyway. But the good thing is that the Governors Forum came together, and I think they've agreed that Governor Masari of King Katsina State will be the ones with sharing this and put together the modalities that will help to implement this across the various states.
I hope it's thought through.
Moving on to The Punch. Poll judgment, APC mocks PDP, says Atiku can't win at World Court. Tears flow as family buries Federal University of Ekiti student. Obaseki can't issue fresh Edo Assembly proclamation, says court. Our recovered looted funds by past government, says Makinde. Abiodun disowns official on the 15.8 billion naira road expenditure. Deploy women soldiers to fight insecurity, Aisha Buhari says. FG resumes evacuation on Sunday, resolves South African immigrant hitches. Southwest unveil Operation Amotekun against insecurity. And VAT height. Senate final summons Finance Minister and Fowler. Okay, let's start with this human interest story. This young man that was killed, and it's really pretty sad story. Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Really sad. They buried him on. His name was Thursday. They buried him on
Thursday.
Yesterday, Thursday, and there were amid tears, and everybody was crying. And this had happened with the governor's wife's convoy when they were. The students were protesting.
Yes.
The police actually shot at the students, which we didn't read in the papers. And I'm just, so...
I saw it yesterday in the papers, actually. It was in the papers yesterday.
On Wednesday, it wasn't in the paper. It was just that they attacked her convoy.
Exactly. Yes. So Wednesday's paper now said that 2 were shot. And then the problem people are having is that we've heard from the governor's wife. We've heard from, I think, the university. But the thing is that nobody has outrightly condemned the act of killing of this young student. Nobody has actually said, the CPS, especially the Commissioner of Police of that state, hasn't come out to say something's going to be done to the person that pulled the trigger.
They have even
so everybody's keeping it quiet. Sorry?
They've arrested some students.
The stories are conflicting because based on the arrest, I read in the Vanguard on why they were arrested, that there was an attack on a police convoy, a police vehicle was set on fire, and that police officers were also injured in the protest or the attack. I need the story clarified.
But
so
regardless of the story,
there are actually videos.
Yeah.
There are actually videos to show that the police shot at.
Yeah.
And you see, I think this is where we need to really educate the police, because there need to be rubber bullets, tear gas instead of they're students.
Not criminals, they're students.
Have you been watching the riots in Hong Kong?
In Hong Kong, yeah.
They haven't killed one single person.
Yes.
Those people are rioting like mad. Nobody has been killed. Police are coming out, they will beat themselves.
Anyway, let's move on. It's really sad, but we're going to stay on because it's important that this young man gets justice.
Yes.
Yes.
And we need to stay on this story. We're not going to let it go. We're not going to sweep it under the carpet because it seems that everybody's just, there's this conspiracy of silence. So we're going to just keep on this story. Let's take one more story in Punch. Anybody else? Let's move on.
Okay, let's read take the Basek.
Okay.
Do you have another one?
Basek, who is interested in Basek?
Yeah,
Are
I'm
you
interested.
interested?
So the governor,
Him and the Oshamani, they went back and forth for a while.
No, this is the governors against the people now. So he went to court and said that to contest the House of Reps effort to take over the House of Assembly in the state, insisting that he does a new proclamation of the House of Assembly into commencing duties. But the court is saying he doesn't have to, and that only the court can order that the House of Reps cannot order him to do that.
Okay, moving on to Vanguard. Xenophobia returnees tell tales of woe. Let's see. Presidential toss articles should apologize to Nigerians instead of appealing judgment. Right. Violent protest. Police arrest 2 over attack on Fayemi's wife. You will have no powers to take over Edo Assembly. I think we've taken a few of those stories. I have no intention to inflict more hardship on Nigerians, says Buhari. This regarding the VAT.
Yeah.
Who has the VAT story?
I do. Although I took your other stories, but I guess it's the same story everywhere. So,
you have another story here that you want to take?
Should we take the
No, the xenophobic.
Yeah.
Xenophobic.
Let's
start with
finish
that.
with this.
No,
Finish with the VAT. And we'll
Okay, so the president is saying that they're not trying to further put more hardship on Nigerians. So they're discussing the recent increase of VAT, or the suggestion that it may be increased in order to meet with the minimum wage. NLC and many other unions, trade unions, are coming out to criticize this new move because they're saying you're sort of robbing, if you increase you're reducing the purchasing power of people anyway. So if you increase their wage on the one hand and then increase their tax on the other hand, you haven't really done much. So the government is saying that they're calling the Minister for Finance and the FIRS boss so that they can see better ways to come up with better VAT.
There's also different arguments that, listen, we are one of the lowest paying countries paying taxes across the world. That there's no country that sustains development without proper taxes for the people. All the abroad they're all screaming about, they tax. So there's always that issue, and especially also because the governments are having problems paying this minimum wage, and they need this revenue because 85% of the tax comes to them. So that's part of the money they hope to use to pay this. So we have to really weigh
but the Labour
options.
Union is also making a good point. It says for right now, even at 5%, you're unable to get full compliance. What happens when you increase it to 7.5? It will be worse. Less people will pay.
Now pay 7%. That's more money.
Yes, you're overtaxing those who are already paying.
When you pay tax abroad, when you retire at 60, you will be 65, you get pension. Here, there's nothing like that.
No, there's pension. It's just that it's been
Which pension?
The pension has been mismanaged.
As I'm paying my tax, will I get pension?
Now.
I don't work for government. I will not get pension.
YK is correct. We do contributory pension now. We've done that for 10 years now. So people now contribute to their own pension.
Yes, nice.
And then you want to further tax them.
7.5%.
You want to tax them to buy car for them in National Assembly.
Please
don't be tasking us.
We have to tax, please.
Remove their subsidy.
That's a debate on its own.
The xenophobic attacks, some of the returnees told their stories. There was this lady, Moturayo, who said her shop was burnt. She was there when they came and they burnt her shop. And then when she got home, they burnt her car.
Wow.
And she's just happy to escape with her 2 children. And they were delayed at the airport. They said, how did you get into South Africa?
No.
And
they clarified that in the song.
And they were doing biometrics for some of them.
Yeah.
And those that were going with their children,
had to get letters of
spousal consent.
Yes.
But a lot of them were telling their stories.
Right.
There was another lady, Chinyere, who said she hasn't worked since she got there and that it's not easy. And another one said the police and the military, they will just, when they're attacking them, they'll just be looking at them like this.
Imagine.
How does your heart not move when you see someone being killed? How does it not?
An average South African can't even jump on a person that they are burning unjustly. What do you expect police to do?
Daily Sun. APC, PDP fight over tribunal's verdict. Soldiers, insurgents killed in fresh confrontation. Buhari, we won't inflict additional hardship on Nigerians. South Africa, on why 313 Nigerians didn't return in the first batch, says Foreign Ministry. And federal government approves $5.3 billion for Ibadan-Kano Standard Rail project. Okay, which story?
We already took the story.
We took the APC and PDP going back and forth. So the minister
interested in that story?
Well, let's just...
Go ahead.
It's the language that I want to even address. So the Minister for Information has said that even though the PDP has the right to petition, you know, to the highest level, but they should drop their toga of desperation, realizing that their tomfoolery has a limit. And then also asked for, I think he tweeted and also asked that the PDP should apologize to the president for what he's done so far. And then the counsel to former Vice President Atiku Buhari says, what kind of weed is he smoking?
It's just
a question.
It's an average question. Me, I'm not surprised. That's an average Nigerian
what kind of weed is it? It must be certified weed. I don't understand. A learned person.
No. That's what brings slap. So if somebody is attacking you, bringing insult, you will expect some insult back. No Nigerian goes on to call him.
He didn't even accuse him. He just asked what kind.
Are you all right?
It's a question.
It means that are you in your normal sense?
It's so rude.
Can they all just be mature and just move on? There's no judgment. Appeal it to the court and let's move on.
So they have the Supreme Court.
I don't even know why you took the story.
I'm not even interested in that story.
More interested in the soldiers that were killed.
I can't hear anybody anymore.
I saw Mariam reading the story. She was shocked at the comments and the reply that,
how do you do that?
Moving on to the Nigerian...
Can we talk, is the Boko Haram story?
Moving on, well, let's see, I'm not sure. NLC and ECA PDP reject 7.2% VAT rate. Don't eat fruit during medication. Express one. Who has that story?
I have that story. So, okay, sorry. There's a professor of pharmacy. A pharmacist was warning Nigerians on the dangers of taking fruits, certain fruits while you're taking medication, because they tend to reduce the potency of those medications and even cause some heart conditions. So he mentioned banana, milk, and oranges, and some of these green vegetables. So I think we should just stay off fruits while we're medicating.
Fortunately, we ran out of time.
We can't talk about the 9 soldiers that were killed.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, they were killed in an attack. The insurgents attacked their camp, and several are missing. Several soldiers are missing. Wow. 9 were killed. They made off with a lot of ammunition. Their armored vehicle. Oh, wow. And it was really, really...
yes, and we are winning the war against insurgency.
They said that...
according to...
They said they were slaughtered. The soldiers were slaughtered. Not even just shot. They were slaughtered.
May their soul rest in peace. This is not a funny story. Unfortunately, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we'll discuss a few topics we saw on social media, and we'll bring in our guest a bit later. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So some men, our men, Nigerian men, are saying that they cannot marry a woman raised by a single mother because a woman like that is usually toxic. What does that mean? Do you agree? Could this be a result of bad upbringing, as some single mothers are not single by their own wish? Join the conversation 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Okay, so who wants to go first on this? Because I'm not even sure where to start this conversation from. Some people feel that, okay, because you're raised by a single person, single mother means that you're going to act different. I mean, I have a problem understanding that, but please help me, enlighten me.
Okay, I would say that immature men who don't know how to deal with life issues might not be ready for a woman who life has happened to. So a woman who has to raise her children alone normally doesn't have it easy, like a woman who has the support, because some people are in an active marriage, but they don't have the support of another party to raise them properly. So if it's a family goal to raise children in a certain way and everybody's working in tandem with that, it will happen that you have a full, complete, whole person. But the damage that happens from a bitter, probably bitter mother raising a child alone is not the child's fault. So if you have a man who is not mature enough to deal with that person, the person that she becomes or the person that she knows she's in the process of becoming, he might just completely rule it out and say, I cannot marry. I think it's not a statement we should just say like that loosely. Some men have actually helped women through life challenges. So let's just give the example of, I know it's not appropriate, but the example of Timidakolo's wife and the woman she's just unraveling to become. If Timidakolo was a man who would just bracket and say, I can't marry a damaged woman like that, I can't marry somebody who's been raped, like, people just, make such statements, he will not be able to help her through what she's going through right now. And those kind of men are not the kind of people that we are looking for.
But I mean, so is there like an assumption that once you're a single mother, you're likely to raise damaged children? Because I know quite a few single mothers. They have, well, it depends. Some single mothers I know have that support from their family, from the mothers, from their sisters, from loved ones, such that the kids actually have a well-rounded upbringing. Yeah. So is it good to make that general statement? But let me come to you, Mariam.
When I read it too, just that generality of the way he said it for me just puts me off. So it was good that you started with Nima, so she sort of gave a little bit of background on why somebody would say something like that. Because single motherhood does not equal toxicity. It's bitterness, anger, unhappiness, and some people have that even within a father-mother relationship. And some people have taken their children out of that that environment of toxicity that has both parents away and then become a single parent, either single mother or single father, to provide for that child a better environment, a better upbringing. And the problem with this generalization is that you're judging someone's character based on their background.
Exactly.
So you just look at the person, you're brought up by a single mother, and then, I mean, I was brought up for a bit when my mom lost her husband, when my father died, for nearly 10 years. She was a single mother. She didn't choose to be there, but we also, apart from her being the one to raise us, we had a support system. My grandmother was there, I had aunties, and everybody was positive. And there was something my mother also did. Whatever issues she had with my father or my father's family, it was not a conversation we ever had. It was when we grew up, we started asking questions. So don't just put it on a single mother that she's toxic.
Yeah.
So many single mothers are doing amazing
fall
things.
Into that trap because for me, I was deliberate looking for, because everybody around, when I was growing, everybody around me came from a polygamous home. Because I grew up as a Muslim. So most of my dad's friends, the people that my mother wanted me to marry at the time, were all from polygamous home. And I had made a promise to myself, I would never marry from a polygamous, because I had that mentality like, once it's polygamous, I'm going to have to deal with all this drama. Issues. So all my sisters at the time were Muslims, and they all came from that kind of family. So I was very clear. But the point I'm trying to make is that, is it right for us to always assume that because somebody's from a polygamous home, I'm going to have a poor marriage? No. It was a wrong assumption, but that was what I went in, that was the mentality I went in with. But we shouldn't make that generalization.
To you at the time. I particularly used to score somebody on a stable home background. So if you're asking me out, I'm looking at you, how stable is your home? Because I visited a friend whose husband wasn't from a stable home. The toxicity that the mother-in-law gave her till she passed, she did not stop one day until she died. I just said, no, I can't deal with this kind of thing.
I think this toxicity that we're talking about is... I think I cut tongue. It can be with a married couple, with someone from a stable, so-called stable home. Yes. It can be from a single mother. It depends on experience. I know of somebody who the parents were together, but the relationship was toxic, and the mother was toxic and made her children toxic. But she was still with the in stable home. Do you understand? So I think it is just, it's a human thing. It's a human. It's not whether a single mother. Me, I was a single mother. I don't think I even mind my own business completely. my daughter never knew anything that happened between her father and I. It's not her business.
So, okay, well, that's one of the reasons why we're having this conversation, because it's important we begin to renew and reorientate people to have new definitions. When you see a single mother, don't automatically judge that, she's bitter. Yeah. No, she's not bitter. Yeah. She probably found happiness. So sometimes, yes, some are bitter. Others are actually having a ball. Yeah. So we need to begin to judge people for who they are, not based on their circumstances.
Yeah. Okay, so I had this...
don't generalize.
There was a time I was looking for a lesson teacher for my children, and I was interviewing a few, and I'd asked them if they had done this before and what their challenges were. And this man said to me that the problems he's always had were with single mothers and their children, that the children seemed a bit more, not well behaved. I was like, it's only a Nigerian man that can say that with confidence, sitting before a woman. Do you understand? You don't even know whether I was a single mother myself. I didn't take him, but I also said to him, I said, next interview, don't say that to a woman, you know. Right. But the thing is, I think it's a Nigerian thing. We're just very assertive about what we think, about what we think is the problem without looking at all the other factors that
Before you go, let me take this call. Okwe, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Good morning, this is Okwe.
Morning, go ahead, please.
Yeah, this topic is wow to me. I think something similar to this, not long. A guy coming around for marriage, and when we got down, talking about our families and everything, he got to know that I'm from a separated home. And this gave him a very good warrant to just separate from me and give me a silent treatment. And coming back home, I was just down like, is this my fault that my parents were separated? And this doesn't have anything to do with me. Of course, I people know that I'm from a broken home, how God has raised me, but I don't know what always right of ladies that are from broken homes or from separated parents. I think this should be, it's vital disease that should be dealt with greatly. Yeah, that's my view on that.
Thank you very much. And what Nima said something very critical earlier, that we need mature men. Yes. It's the mature men that get into these relationships. Because a lot of men come across as immature, and they're the ones that immediately judge. They don't want to deal with the issue. Yeah. They don't want to manage. They don't want to understand where you're coming from. Yes. They just want that perfect woman that comes from this home and is ready to be the wife.
And for the girl, I think you should be...
prior to us having, counselors and marriage counselors, what you used to do is to go and see what the story is like in the family. In my own case, that was this case. So somebody investigated the family and says, okay, this is the kind of background both of you have, them fit to marry. So that was the traditional way to find out the person. But fast forward today, I've had to counsel women, and I've seen that, when you're alone raising a child as a woman, you tend to be more considerate. Even as a mother, when you have a spouse, a complete family, what you do is that you are the softer person. So one person is harder. It might just be the other way when you're a single mother. You might be the softer mother, so somebody can then generalize and say, as single mothers, you allow everything. In some people's families, their fathers who are softer, that you and their mothers are tougher. So
let me take this call from Ijeshatedo.
Hello, good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm calling from Jesha, Lagos.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I have two things to discuss about. Firstly, about the issue of University of Oyo issue. I watched a video where a mobile police officer is being dealt with, beating blue and black. In such situation, if I'm a military man or a mobile man with a gun, I know I could have used it in that situation. I watched the video this morning. The man was terribly dealt with, beaten, and the man fainted. The man was in uniform. And the student videoed it themselves and sent it on here. Okay,
we don't have that story confirmed yet. I'm not sure how true that is, but that's an angle, but no, we're not sure. I can't confirm that yet. But what are your thoughts on the topic at hand? Hello, Ayeni?
He's gone.
Okay, all right. Any tweets on this?
Okay, no, I was saying that... Okay, I was saying that sometimes when this happens to a girl, where a man says, oh, I found out that you're from a broken home, and or you're raised by a single mother, I'm not marrying you, I think you should see it as a blessing. Quickly see that, because some people have, falling apart. It's like, oh, look at what you have caused. They actually go back to the mothers, look at what you have caused me. You are happy to know that upfront, because this is something that may cause you bigger issues in your marriage. A man needs to be mature enough to understand that you you're a single individual, you have your character. Yes, you come from somewhere, but who are you? And then appreciate you for who you are.
So there's this girl.
Sometimes the parents, one of the parents have died. So, but I think that my point, oh gosh.
Sorry, let me take this call while you're thinking of points. I call from Port Harcourt. Morning, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
All right, this is Anson speaking.
Welcome to the show.
Actually, the reasons why some men refuse to marry from a single home, as you said. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's number one, it is the character of the mom. You know that a single mother, most of them always bring a boyfriend to the house. So as a man that wants to marry a lady, thinking about all these pictures, because we learn from one another. Maybe the children will be seeing what the mother is doing. And also when to the marriage, they're kind of developing such character. So those are some of the reasons why men refuses to kind of getting married into such family. And another thing is that the lady should be advised as a single mother that coming home in a daily basis with a boyfriend is a kind of making the children be corrupt by changing up their minds.
Okay,
So,
point taken, Hanson.
Interesting. I don't know about that boyfriend because I know from experience that my daughter never knew if I was in a relationship or not because I didn't think that it was right to
put it in her face.
Yeah, because I look, you have a father. I don't want you to start looking, this. So that was just a personal choice. I don't, if you are the one that you want your boyfriend to be in the house, that's your own. But I'm just saying, on a personal level.
Saying,
and I was going to say,
I grew up hearing people, okay, work it.
I was going to say, a lot of them think that with single parents, the child will not want the marriage. Since your mother came out of the marriage,
it's something that easy for you.
It's easy for you. So that's what a lot of
mentality.
Yeah.
So okay, I wanted to say,
let's go to Brooke. Okay. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, Wake, do you have any tweets for us?
Yes, so nobody is mature to accept a repeated language I can't use or insult to. Being mature is different from being foolish. These days, we find it hard to believe women do dumb things, like we are so fast to judge men when things go wrong in a relationship.
That's a lie.
That's a bitter man.
This one is always usually women.
Most single mothers have support from family like my sister. She had a child when in secondary school, but I joined forces with her to raise that child today. That child is a gospel singer and plays all kinds of instruments.
Let me take Ronka's call. Ronka, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Morning. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Ronka again. Thank you for having me, first-time caller. I wanted to clap in. I want to say that I've been in the business that you are discussing this morning for good 17 years.
Okay.
So when I had some people called in and they were talking about the woman bringing in a man, or probably because the foundation, men are not ready to marry girls from that kind of home, I would say like my beautiful sister, Kuti normally says, it depends on individual. It depends on how you can rightly divide the issues of life. You have so many people that from a very complete home, the way they behave out there, you'll be wondering if they have passed through parenting at all.
Right.
I don't want to start talking about my children or by myself or people that have met me, but I would love to be on your show so that I can physically and officially put certain things from personal experience to people. It has to do with what led you to be a single mother.
In the first
it has to do with the consciousness of who you are as a human being. If you check my status, yesterday I put in there. There are 4 roles that a human being are meant to perform in life. You are first a human being. Next, you are a woman. The next one, you are a mother. You are a wife or husband. Then again, you will be a mother.
So if you have these 4 roles, and one is just being denied, you are denied to be an exemplary wife. That does not mean that you have to fail in the other 3.
Exactly. Thank you very much for sharing. That's a very good point. You don't. That's a very,
Thank
very
you,
good
lady.
point.
Thank you, Ronke.
Anson, I was going to reply Anson when he talked about women dating and all that. There was this thing at the time when we were growing up where a woman loses the chance to try again once she's divorced. I heard people talk about a neighbor of mine who was divorced back then in the 90s, about every single man that knocks on her door. Once there's a person in front of her door and he's male, it's, maybe he's just coming. Maybe people just kept judging, and I felt immediately she got divorced. I think she lost the right. But thank God, thankfully, she later remarried. And I think every woman has the right. So if a woman is has a broken marriage, she can always try again.
The widow.
As long as you're not sure whether, you know,
because it can be the man that walked out on her now.
Exactly.
A widow, a man that died.
People walked out on their responsibilities in marriages, and women had to make it work.
Yes,
So Ibrahim says, single parenthood can result from many circumstances. It's not always for the wrong reasons. You could end up as a single parent for the right reasons. Anybody says there are different categories of single moms. Those that are headed by divorce, the one headed by being widowed, and also those that are by choice. The category will determine what the man will use to describe what is toxic for him, not to marry a woman raised by a single mom. And PJ Comedian says, it depends. I have a case of a single lady not training her daughter well because her work has taken all her time. If she continues like that, the girl might grow up to be an untrained adult without proper values.
My sister
so
raised
nobody should generalize.
my sister was a single mother, my half-sister, and she did an amazing job. My nephew is such a responsible citizen, and something that's her pride and joy. There are lots of single mothers that did a fantastic job with the children. So we should. The objective is not to judge people without
talk
knowing
about the
them.
damage that, you know, a bitter person, whatever happened in the past. So some people are not as matured as the last caller who know what to do. I'm counseling a girl presently whose mom was divorced, has left the 2 children and remarried. But every time she's with this girl, she's cussing, she's so strict. The girl is always calling, you know, I'm not like the second mother, she's always calling immediately to talk to me. And I keep saying to her, try and understand what she's been through. Maybe when you come from that place of understanding her, she'll see what she's doing to you. Because even the daughter can't stand her mom anymore. She keeps saying...
So that's focusing on the people that are actually having a toxic environment to raise the children. Let me take this call from Joss. Thanks for calling. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
I wanted to talk about the children. I think it's not only the females that are affected by the raising of single mothers. I think the male children are also affected, and you might see behavioral disorders in their behaviors. And I think when I was growing up, it was said that the raising of a child is not the responsibility of the parents only, but is that of the whole community. And so when people see the single mothers struggling with their children, I think they actually need that male voice. So the community usually helps in raising these children because they need that masculine voice. Because sometimes when the mother shouts, they won't even hear what she's saying, but once they hear that masculine voice, I think they are going to hear what
That's an interesting point, which is, you know, when they say that it takes a village to raise a child. So also when you're judging the single mother, also judge the village around you, because sometimes we're meant to stand in the gap where there's no male figure. Who is in that community that can stand in the gap?
Okay, let me put a scenario. Sorry to cut you in. There's a scenario where grandma, single mother, great-grandma, single mother, the daughter, single mother, now the grandchild, single mother. If a man sees that track record, sees that line, sees that pattern, and he sees, oh my goodness, should I go into this? We've seen that scenario happen. So in that kind of situation, if he was your son, would you advise him to go ahead?
I would.
Okay.
I would. Why? Because I would not judge the child by what has happened, because I do not even know what has caused I will give you my own example. Yes. My grandmother was not a single mother, was a single mother because her husband died.
Right.
My mother was married, but still living on her own because my father chose to have 27 wives. Yeah. Then there's me. single mother. And now my daughter, she is married now, and she has no intention
to be a single mother.
To be a single mother. So you have to think of the circumstances that led to that.
Don't judge.
That's what I said, don't judge. But I was even going to say, what about where the mother and the father remain together? Then the mother will be abusing the children. You will useless child, you're just like, because the father, maybe the father is cheating, the father has been doing rubbish, then she's bitter. Inside, she will stay in the marriage, she will not leave, she will now take it out on the children. You are useless like your father. That's the kind of abuse I have actually seen it happen, where she will be telling the children, you are useless like your father.
Some people will say
that's toxic.
It's not your fault, it's your father's people. It's not your fault, it's your father. To a child, you damage the child for that without knowing.
So that just reminded me of something, but let me take this call first. Good morning, are you there from Ikeja?
Yes, I'm here.
Thanks for calling, go ahead please.
Yes, my own contribution is that no man will like to marry from a family where there is total breakdown of love. Let me just tell you this from experience, that the problem of not marrying from a divorce house comes from the women. They always advise their own sons not to marry from a particular family, particularly if the family is divorced. So, and no one will like any family that is everybody come inside. You know, there must be an element of decency in everything one is doing.
But
the major problem comes from the women.
All right, point taken. Thank you very much, Nii. But is this a fair statement? I mean, because a lot of young people are actually doing so well. There's a young lady that actually was raised, her mother was bitter, and she grew up understanding what her father did to her mother that caused that bitterness. She was able to struggle through life, but she has forgiven her mother. And now she's in a happy home. So if her husband had judged her, you that you're raised in this.
That's the point.
So is it fair?
So a child under whose eyes all this happens usually grow up richer in person, in thinking and reasoning. So you've seen life journey happen to someone. You just pick an example and you learn from it. It doesn't have to happen to you for most of those children. But some children are just not mature enough. I've seen ones close to home that I wonder that, are you reasoning at all? See all your mother has been through, and you take life with levity, you just act recklessly. I've seen those ones close to home that I'm wondering, I cannot know this person.
My own is that when it comes to a man making decisions about marriage, I think we're not doing enough for men. Men are taking decisions based on generalizations. Can she cook? Can she, does she come from a broken home? We don't, it's as if we're not sitting our men down to say to them, there are more important things than this. This person that I want to get married, is she kind? Is she hardworking? Can she be my partner? Do we have the same vision? Men are just giving generalizations. Go and find her, can she cook? It's her father. Where's she from? You know? So men are ending up with women that would not work for them because they don't even have the proper blueprint to look at what is important.
We're not raising the men right.
No, they don't know how to choose.
Right. Take it to it, sir.
No, I've always thought that, you know, and I will not blame the men. I will blame the women. Because it is us that raise the boys. We raise the boys that do this. I told you about one where the girl was always going to the kitchen and she would say to the son, if I send him to the kitchen, he will be crying. He will be crying. And me, I was very bitter at that time. I was looking at her, he will be crying. Well, this kind of crying. I have to send him to the kitchen, Joe.
It's not yet. I will need cry blood. I have a problem. The issue Maria mentioned is very, very important about teaching men how to make the right choices. So I have someone saying to me, this one that she cannot kneel down. The other day, is it this girl you want to marry? This one that when she wanted to greet me, she stood to my face like this. She did not treat this one with respect.
In 2019.
And we were debating a girl both of us knew, and I was saying, she's the kindest person that I know. I've seen her, she's very sensitive to her mom. She stands with her mom in the rain, in the sun, they're selling together. She's a good girl. The person was like, Hello, Baje. If she wants to greet elders, they did not teach her well. This one, she will beat me up, saying to her son. And I was saying to the guy, you better grab this girl, else you lose a good girl. But the mother's parameter was about how many times she could kneel down. People have made choices that will kill them in their old age with this kind of parameter.
See, let me read this tweet from Nelly A. Samuel. It says, my own mother-in-law was not even in Nigeria, influenced her daughter, my wife, and she left home after 2 weeks of our marriage. Up till now, 4 years on, she has never thought of, say, she needs to live her own life and raise a home. Sad but true. Then Adedeji replies him, it was a choice that she left you. That influence was just an excuse she took up to do what she originally wanted to do.
Exactly. Yeah. Mariam? So Mr. Adebayo says, our natural impulse tends towards avoiding any person with a history of single parenthood. It has a long and damaging effect that men are not comfortable with, as the same fate may be awaiting such marriage in future.
I think it's really unfair. I'm actually surprised that many people are talking, that many men are responding like this. I'm really surprised.
You know, when this topic came, it was like, but it's common sense. Yeah. But sometimes we talk about topics and then we now hear people talk about it, give their feedback, and we're surprised.
Let's go on. When we come back, our celebrity gets to join the couch and we'll hear his thoughts on this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. He's one of Nollywood's finest, a humorous individual, a writer, producer, and entrepreneur. He's also a Nigerian, UK-born, based actor who has made his mark in the movie industry for more than 40 years. He won the award for Best Actor for 2012 Nigeria Entertainment Awards. Welcome with us, Wale Ojo.
Thank you.
So you can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Before you came on board, we're discussing that a lot of Nigerian men don't like to date ladies from broken marriages or broken homes because they feel that sometimes they're damaged goods. They feel that they're toxic. They feel that these relationships would not last. Yeah. What are your general thoughts on this? Do you agree, or do you feel that it's the right thing to do?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm going to get cursed down by a lot of my male friends.
Okay.
And the way this is the way it works, in my opinion, and in my view, and in my experience, is that the reason a lot of men don't want damaged women is because they want a free run. When I say a free run, it means a woman without any baggage. That's my view.
Why do we assume somebody from a broken marriage has baggage?
Exactly. You shouldn't assume that. I think what you should do is you should first of all meet the lady, start up a relationship with her, and actually start. You see, it goes like this: friendship. From friendship, we move on to girlfriend. From girlfriend to, and then we go on to marriage. That's the way I see it, you know. And I'm an incredible romantic. So but a lot of men don't see it like that. They say, the moment they hear, single home, something, no, I don't.
So what if you find something very, very damaging, a baggage that is extremely damaging in her past, like someone whose stepdad not only abused her mom, abuses her herself, you know, sexually and all the works.
Would you find maybe
there was a child involved and all that? That kind of extreme baggage.
Would I go on?
Through healing.
There's one very important factor in all of that. If you meet the girl and you're in love with her, then whatever, even if she comes with a one leg, or half of her heart broken, you must take the journey with her. You must heal with her. That's because love is priceless, you see, and love can heal the heart. Love can heal any pain, any wounds, you know. If you're not prepared to take that journey with her, then that man is not prepared to be with that woman, not destined to be with that woman in the first place.
Love.
Yes, now.
Because you are not married.
I'm not married.
Have you never been in love?
Yes, many times, and my heart has been broken. That's why I know what I'm talking about.
So tell us about the women you've dated and that happened.
Broken your heart.
That broken your heart.
Why?
Well, it's a combination of two things. It's a combination of that when you get into the relationship, what you want is not what the woman wants.
What do you want?
Okay, what you want is you want a family.
Okay.
You want a loving home, you want a wife you can come back to. She is looking at you and looking at a career. She's saying, but this guy has a career. He's this, he's that, he can help me to get this and that. And she keeps that from you. She keeps that from you. It's a hidden agenda. When ring don't enter finger now, Allah can't start. You say, come, you didn't tell me this in the beginning.
But all of us join.
But you never put ring, so how do you know
No,
about
but then you
agenda?
but you see, the thing is, I'm very perceptive, Yenny. I can tell. And I've lived around women all my life, thanks to my mother. I'm very perceptive. I know when you are playing me.
But I'll even
No,
be
I'm
wary.
serious, you have to be honest.
Me, personally, I'll be wary of marrying a man that has grey hair. At this age, you never marry. What am I even looking at you in the first place? For me, it risks of...
But are you saying that marriage will reflect by age?
And I just feel like, listen, I'll be too scared of marrying somebody this old. So thinking, what have you been doing all this while? Are you an irresponsible man? Are you an irresponsible man?
Trying to get women for him. But this man, eligible bachelor, I have still not succeeded.
I've never been
because
married.
I'm an incurable romantic.
I was 55
day after
days
my
ago.
son.
How many kids you got?
No kids that I know of.
You just might find out tomorrow.
Okay.
Exactly. And if you have any, if you know of any, don't just keep your number.
Let's
Call
talk
me on
about
the
this
private.
topic more seriously. So there's a video that broke online of a man who found out on the wedding day about his wife's past, and he was saying to her the wedding cannot continue. And I saw in the video there was a woman standing. I tell you, you did not listen. I tell you, and this accent is setting in, and my people from Edo. The woman was saying it like, I don't tell you, you did not hear me, you didn't listen. So I was wondering, what do we do about family members who in their most, whatever exposure, they call it wisdom. They will tell you, in my wisdom, I know this girl. Don't marry women like this. People who would emphasize it and say, no, it cannot happen.
It depends on which avenue that they are coming down. You ask them, why are you saying I should not marry this woman?
Most of the time it's
based on what? If it is traditional wisdom, I will listen.
How? What do you mean by traditional?
Well, I mean, that's the way I roll.
Right.
If it's traditional wisdom, it means it's coming from a wise source.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? It's a source of truth.
So do you depend a
That
lot
this particular girl, we don't say something.
They see the future.
So whether they say your destiny, both of your destiny, the TV.
So you go to, you consult TVTV. You consult TVTV.
television.
Yeah, no.
You consult
when it needs to, yes, I do. Because I believe in traditional wisdom. And I believe in ancient African practices.
Good.
Yes, to direct our way forward. Yes.
Good.
I will.
I don't understand. I mean, you're a British speaking.
Oh, so because I'm British speaking, I will not follow the ways of my ancestors.
So we're thinking, he must be.
I must be exposure.
What is happening?
No. You see, it is because I am British educated, and I'm also African educated. But thanks to the blessing of Oludumare, I'm given the benefit of both worlds. So I know that Oyibo don't deceive us in one way or another.
Yeah? You should actually be a host. Because I'm a no ranger on this thing. You see? I know. I need you to be a host.
No. Listen, I was with the Oni of Ife 4 days ago, and he said something so wonderful. He said, Wale, you know what? He said, do you know what God loves? I said, no, please, Oni, what? He said, music. Music is food for God. That's what the Oni said. And music comes from a very truthful place. You cannot lie with music now. It's not possible. People will hear it. So it must come from a very truthful place, you know. And it is also music that helps us with relationships.
It's a spirit.
It's a spirit.
So let me get. Go ahead, Mariam, please.
Okay. I just want to ask that.
You look overwhelmed.
I am. Yes, I'm surprised and shocked. So I have to sort of
Jesus
so I have to
they will soon start asking about him now.
So I have to recalibrate and see the sort of questions to ask you now. So you're not married, and from what you've said is maybe you haven't met the right person.
Yes.
You're very perceptive. So before they even come, you see them
I
come.
don't see them.
But could it also
And
be
I've
a
also
choice?
been inside where they don't play me, so I tell you, what, I'm out.
But could it also be a choice that you have? And is it okay to have that choice?
No, to be not married?
Yes,
I don't
not be
think
married.
For me personally, no, it's not a choice. No,
So
I would love to have been married 30 years ago.
Who is the one? Tell me.
You haven't met any...
In fact, who is the one? Mr. Ojo, who is
people.
the one? Tell me.
It's
Define her.
You cannot. It's not. I'm not God. I'm not possible.
But what would you look at in the person and think she's almost there?
Listen, right now, ideally, my ideal wife would be a wonderful Nigerian lady. Okay, from any tribe, all right, who is not into the fact that I'm Wale Ojo, I'm this or I'm that. It's just who knows you as a person. And who loves you as a person, and who loves your habits. No, wait, and I have bad habits, so I have bad habits. So.
Like?
No, I can't do something. But who loves your bad habits and your good habits, and you can sense it. Women, listen, without women, this world is not possible. There's something that you get with a woman that you just know that I want to spend a lot of time with this girl.
Okay. Is there an age? Is there an age?
I've met them, but down the road, it suddenly goes astray.
I think you are not.
I have a question. Let me jump in.
I'm not going to accommodate you.
There's no perfect human being.
Exactly.
But is there an age
tolerant?
Looking at? Sorry?
Is there an age bracket? No, that's another thing. People say, oh, you should be married at this age. I don't believe that.
No, I mean, is there the woman you would like to be with? Should she be a certain age?
No.
So you can marry someone who's not 50. Would you marry someone who's 50?
My dear, if we're compatible and we fall in love, very much so I will.
Can I ask you one question? You see, in 30 years, I really find it hard to believe that there was nobody that you fell in love with back then that you'd like to go back to. There's got to be somebody out there that you met that you wish you had actually made it work.
We made it together.
Yes. Does that person exist?
She actually went and married somebody else, and they've got kids now.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's what's
So you guys keep in touch?
Of course. In fact, this happened when I was a struggling actor in London.
Oh.
So it wasn't like I say she was with me because I was famous or anything. So it's like when we then broke up and everything, she got married and got kids. She now writes to me today and says, Wale, this is Tayo. See, your career is doing well. And you say, oh, well. In my background, I'm saying, you see what you missed, you should have gone together with, you know that kind of thing. But I mean, that's life, it happens.
She left you maybe because you were a struggling actor.
Exactly.
No, I had such a story.
I didn't stay in one place.
Okay, you have a movie Casanova coming up, so obviously.
Yes, this movie is Casanova, and please don't let it reflect on anything I've just spoken.
It's difficult to separate.
It's not
It is a reflection. Because I've seen you with so many different women. Every time I see you, you have a new woman.
The debate together at one of the collaborations debates.
Okay.
The place he was sitting was just distracting us from judging.
Oh. So you've seen him with different women working?
Different women, different
white, yellow, green, blue.
Maybe, 2 or 3, but nothing.
I love the company of women. And you saw white, yellow, Chinese, all.
Oh, Yenikaje, let's bring the argument to date now. What is wrong with polygamy?
Nothing from my perspective.
God bless you.
Everything is wrong with polygamy.
Jesus people, what's wrong with polygamy?
Because one man, Adam and Eve. Simple.
No, God did not create two.
Me better.
I don't know. But okay, that also brings me. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with polygamy. So you haven't found any 4, 5, 10 women to even have a marriage with?
No. In my own view, because of my grandmother's wisdom, she said start with one first.
Okay, so you are saying that
if you are happy with that one, you want to add more because your grandfather married 6.
You see,
no, my grandfather married 6.
The goodness in polygamy is that if you marry one, she has right leg missing. Just marry the one with the right leg. If you marry the right leg, she has her left hand missing. Marry another one with that. So you keep making it's a virtual situation.
So if your daughter wants to get married, you allow her to marry somebody who already has a man already has a wife?
Very good question. I don't know. I don't know. Because, when it comes to your children,
but you have to do other people's children.
I don't have children, but I know the emotion I feel with my young ones, my nephew.
How many children would you like to have?
Oh, 5.
At 55, you never start one.
At 70, you will still be
taking diapers.
Let's not talk about this movie.
Should I jump and catapult and acrobatic for you? I'm still fit.
No, actually, you are still fit. Still stand up. Show them.
Yes.
Fine young man. Nice. Hey!
Papa's there.
Hey.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Uncle John is still working.
Breakfast show.
Please. Let her have my number.
Please.
Uncle John is working or not. Yes, sir. Fully working.
Then they will say I'm the one that is bad influence. Innocent.
I have a call, please. I have a call. Good morning. Are you there? Hello.
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Sorry, Jerry. Thanks for calling MEC. Don't mind these noisemakers. Go ahead. You're live, JMC. Go ahead.
Network.
Okay. I just want to contribute to. Sorry, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you so much. I want to contribute to what Mr. Wale just said.
Yes.
When he said that you shouldn't really blame women for coming from a home, from a broken home.
Yeah.
And, men, exactly what he said was men don't like women with baggages. That's it.
I come from a home, a broken home. My dad wasn't always there, so I would say I was practically brought up by a single mother. And my husband saw me in that brokenness. We were friends for like 6 years before we even got married. I never even saw him as my type, but he took me in and he helped me heal. And they're married today for over a year now, and we have a beautiful baby girl.
Beautiful.
Fantastic.
Lovely.
That's a good story.
That's the story.
Thank you very much, MC.
That's how the story.
But we're going to be running over.
Let's
So let's talk about your movie. It's opening today, right?
Yes, Casanova opens today, and it's about really, again, what we're saying. The man has baggage, lost his wife, and in a way, his own very weak way of seeking, I don't know, revenge on life is to go around and sleep with different women, which, you know, and he has a very male chauvinistic view about women. So eventually he meets another lady played by Rituala Dor. They're in the same age range. They get off on a very bad footing. She basically tells him where to get off, that you're a complete idiot, and your attitude towards women is wrong. You know, and in the end, they then get back together again. But in the course of events, his own son also meets the woman's daughter.
Wow.
So there's a clash there.
Casanova
And Casanova.
You didn't invite us. Did you bring Ivy's for us? Because
The movie, yes, now there was a premiere on Wednesday. I'm sure there's an invite out to you.
Let's take a few tweets before you run off.
Okay.
Yeah, please, there's this one I want to take that is,
okay, let me take this one.
This is Mr. Oladipo. He says, I so much admire Wale Ojo, especially from the movie Phone Swap. I'm still shocked knowing he's not yet married. He is so handsome.
Oh, thank you very much.
Spoken and well, sigh.
Emma says, my lovely wife don't know how to cook. When we first married, but I hide it from family members. Whenever they are around, I join her in the kitchen to cook a nice meal. And I still make weekend soup till now, but she can cook very well now. So you cover up.
Okay, Bilkis says, emphatically, we need to start involving and engaging our men in this discourse on relationships and marriage. Yeah. We've got to get them talking and learning, as well as unlearning old ways that aren't working in our time.
Are you from a broken home? Are you from a broken home? Are you from a... Mikey, hang in there. Are you from a broken home?
Yes.
So maybe that's why you know you're married.
Yes, I am. I am from a broken home.
You have baggage.
No, I don't have baggage.
You have baggage.
But I tell you what, look. Yeah. My mother and my father separated a long time ago.
Okay.
But then, through all events that have happened, and then my father had cancer.
Okay.
You know that my mother came back
to take care of
him.
That's
and they're together now till today.
Oh.
But you
and I was her first love. My father was her first love. And then they both went through, disastrous marriages, really. But today, as I speak, my mother is with him.
Oh, they had other marriages?
Yes.
So
God forbid, that's your first love. God forbid something happens to our marriage. Yeah. Would you look for her?
If something happens to him, that's my first love.
Yeah.
No, that would be hard, though. Because she's already been through a marriage already, children for another man.
No, she's a person.
Yeah, but she comes back.
She comes with baggage that you're happy to help her grow.
If the waters of life, I'm what I'm saying.
When we cross that bridge, we cross that.
In the British language, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross over it.
Okay. Go ahead. Sometimes says, Moral, mind your business. Let the man alone.
Yeah. Somebody. I mean, please, let's clap for that guy.
Please, I don't man like you. Anybody says, funny Wale Ojo, do you know he featured in one of Johnny English franchise?
Oh, yes. Do you know Mr. Bean?
Yeah. You know,
yes.
I've known him for a long time. Yes. But it was when I was reading the thing, I saw that. So do you know I went back to watch the film?
Oh, really?
I watched it before. I watched the film before. So I went back to watch the film to see you.
Listen, I got a call from my agent that, Wale, you are in a film with Johnny Bean. Johnny English, sorry, Mr. Bean. And I like that guy. He's so funny. And at the time, I was doing Adebanjos. So I said, let me take some comedy tips from him. Do you know that I met this guy? I thought he was a bit arrogant and we'd gone like a house on fire. Before every scene, the guy would go to a corner and be doing his face like this.
Oh, so he has to practice to be that way.
Yeah, that's his thing.
And then get into
and he goes, Wale, ready? I go, okay, let's go. Because he was meant to be my bodyguard.
Okay.
And I'm being the president of Mozambique.
Yes.
So he's meant to usher me in, make sure all security is everything, okay. As I'm making a speech to my people of how much of their money I have stolen. So this is a political hint right there. Mr. Bean is busy in the jacuzzi with several women. And then I get assassinated. That's the way the film rolls, yeah.
Unfortunately, we have to wrap up, that's all. So, so we can watch Casanova today?
Yes, Casanova opens today. National cinemas nationwide, Film One cinemas. Okay. Casanova. Myself, Eritiola Doyle, please.
Okay, we'll try to support you. All right, that's all we can take on the show.
Thank you for having me.
If you're an eligible woman, Mr. Ojo is looking for you. Please apply. Abi?
Absolutely.
Don't come knowing Wale Ojo.
But apply with a heart full of love, sympathy, and understanding.
Have a fabulous weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.